Welcome back to Crave. I'm thrilled to kick off this season celebrating Italian culture, the Italian American lifestyle, and some 49ers football. I'm here with Alex Lopez. Buongiorno, Alex.
Good morning.
Buongiorno. Later, we will be joined by Architect Simone Mazzetto to discuss his incredible work celebrating Italian heritage. Co-hosting with us live from Milano is our correspondent Iacopo Gori. Stay tuned. Let's get started.
So how are we doing this morning, Samantha?
I'm good. It's been busy
Yes.
morning like usual. We have a busy morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking after we posted the video about embrace your accent, people responded with so many different kind of message. Can you believe it?
I know, it was incredible. I think you and I were both overwhelmed in a positive way, of course.
Yes.
Of all the different kinds of messages we were receiving about how they connected with it, how they related to it. It was kind of crazy to see.
It was very, very powerful. So here again, my quote. To all bilingual journalists and storytellers and everyone from different backgrounds who speaks multiple languages, don't let anyone hold you back because of your accent. It's a strength that brings something real and diverse to your story. Your voice reflects your community and inspires others to share theirs, making our world more inclusive and true to who we are. Embrace your accent is what makes your voice powerful.
I think if you need a reminder, just play that over and over and over.
The reason why I want to mention this again, because the one I had before, I mentioned only journalists and storytellers, but actually it's everybody.
Everybody.
That's why I add everyone from different backgrounds who speak multiple languages.
Yeah.
So that's, for me, is very important, and I'm here to remind everybody how, it's important to be open-minded, respectful to people, background, language, and everything. How are you doing, Alex?
I'm doing good. I just feel like it's crazy to me that we're on our 14th episode. Like, what?
14 episode, wow.
It's just been kind of like,
Yeah.
go, 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 go. But then just like sitting here and just being like 14 is so crazy to me. And we're almost done with our 5th season, which has been amazing.
Yeah.
So just a thank you to everybody who's been watching, who's been supporting us. And we're so excited to take a little break and come back even stronger.
Yeah, thank you so much to everybody. We are so grateful. Yeah, thank you. Today we are thrilled to have Simone Mazzetto back with us. He's a visionary behind the San Francisco Little Italy Honor Walk and the stunning renovation of the Italian Consulate. Join me is our Corriere della Sera correspondent Iacopo Gori, live from Milano. Let's dive into this incredible project and more. Let's get started. Ciao Iacopo, ciao Simone, welcome to Crave, come state?
Buongiorno a voi. I was impressed about the picture that I saw, the incredible restoring of the Italian Consulate in San Francisco. I think that Simone Mazzetto is an architect, and he did a great job. It's unbelievable because I didn't see the Italian consulate in the last 30 years, but it seems to be like a museum. It's amazing. Not a museum, a modern museum. It's wonderful. What you did exactly? What happened in that? It's not anymore a consulate. Can we say that's the most beautiful consulate, Italian consulate in the world? Can we say that?
We can say, I think that. Thank you, Jacopo, for your congratulations and compliments. Now you have to say that the goal of the project was to try to update the imaging of the consulate too, but also to remodel in some spaces. So the consulate in the past, the building is an amazing building. It's a very historical building. It is a property of the Italian government. In the past, it was a residence. So it was the residence of the consul. But in the last 20 years, there was no residence anymore. And the problem is that it was just set up as a residence. It was still set up as a residence. So the idea is to design the space for a new type of attendees. So mostly it's a public event, events for association, events for educational program, for the school, for the university. So we needed different space. So the first idea is to design a multimedia room that is at the ground floor connected with the courtyard. And so a space that could be flexible. So that could be for panels, could be for meetings, could be for board meetings. So we have different setup of tables there. And this enlarged the space. So the public space at the main floor, it will be connected with the courtyard, we will connect with the lobby, with the main entrance. So it could be hosting maybe like 2,000 people now. And then second one was to upgrade the space upstairs, that is the first floor, where usually the consul receives people, but also we can have events there. And so we change a little bit the color scheme. We remake the floor, and also we set up a new type of furniture. So very few furniture because it's not a residence anymore. So to have just a living area and a dining area for some special events, but also to keep the space more flexible for have a short, maybe a short exhibition or maybe a small exhibition connected with something that's happened in the Italian system, in the other association. For example, now we will have a link to an exhibition that will be open next week to Innovate. And the last one that it was a little cherry of the project is to redesign the space of the main staircase. So the main staircase is a very beautiful staircase, I guess. So it's one of the beautiful staircases that I saw in the building, and also in the diplomatic building that we have in the Bay Area, because it's a double staircase, like to say 3 or 4 ramps that connect together. And that space, it was an empty space. It was a sort of, space that was also difficult to thinking, to set up with the pictures, with something. And so we take the decision to have a sort of transition space that people can understand what's Italian done during the year. And so we decided to have a permanent exhibition of the Italian discovery and innovation that changed the world. So starting from the Roman period, coming from this contemporary age, which is the contribution that the genius Italian give to the innovation and to the discovery. And so we set up a permanent exhibition, and that is very interesting also for me, that I made the research to see how deep is the passion for the Italian to go forward, discover things, and invent something new. And there is a life motif, so there is something that is connected with our healthy, so the body, the medicine, the doctor, the music, the piano, the opera, the scientist, the first microchip. So there is a lot to see. And
Architect Mazzetto, you're telling us that the consulate became like a sort of a small museum that you can go. It's open every day, so you can go there and give a look and go inside. So it's something that changed in a so strong way.
I had to say that it's like a little museum. So that could be, it became a sort of Casa Italia. So people can when they come here to meet the consul, or when they come here for the events that is open to the association. So the consul is really open to host events, collaboration with all the association in the Bay Area. So also in the morning there is a lot of events connecting with the university, with the school that is teaching Italian now. So the cultural attaché is doing very good job to bring the students here some morning to talk about and to have even with them. So the people can come and can also have opportunity to see this small exhibition that we have that is Pixit. And also there is a space on the lobby where we can set up a small exhibition, connect maybe with something that's happening in the Innovit or in the Italian Cultural Institute, or maybe Museo Italo-Americano. So we are really open to collaborate with the other association to do this one.
I think this is very important, especially for a community like the Italian community in the Bay Area. Because there are a lot of people with Italian roots, even if they are not speaking anymore Italian, they are proud of their Italian roots. People from outside San Francisco, near Napa Valley, there are a lot of Italians from people with Italian last name, and I think that's important to have a consulate that is not only a public office, but it's something more. It's like a sort of point for the community. I think this is the aim. And you did a great job for the Italian design, I think, because I'm not an architect, but I think that in Italy we are pretty able to understand something if it's beautiful or not, even if you are not an expert, In Italy we are all expert about beauty. And when I saw the picture, I was astonished because I say here with a few things, but very beautiful modern Italian style. Can I say that?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What we do is to pick some, some products, some best product that is on the market.
Iconic products, probably.
Iconic products, and we take care also to select some company that are focused on the innovation. In the design, innovation, and the sustainability. So the furniture that are here are made in a sustainability process. So the company that we choose, that is Bianca, is one also of our sponsor, is a company from a lot of generation that produce furniture. It was one of the first company that started working with a water lacquer. So to have, to have no pollution in the house of the people, to have no pollution on the furniture that they made. And for example, the fabric that they use now, that is the collection that we use here, is fabric produced by recycling system of other fabric. The company that produced the rug is an artisan company that make the rugs hand with a machine in Italy, next to Treviso, and is a Tesseria Asolana, and is made by the wool coming from Sardinia, and this wool that is coming from the ships they are ships for the milk and for the cheese, and you know that the ship, you have to take it out the wool constantly to keep healthy them, and so that wool, instead to put away, they make with a natural pigment, they make this fabric. So we take care also to find something that is, that the process of the production is completely made in Italy, sustainable, and try to innovate instead in terms of design. The sofa was the best sofa in the 2023, designed by Cristian Celestino, the designer of Milan, and is calling the best sofa from the important American review interior design. So that's very great for us. So to pick some items that is very, update imaging of Italy, the best that we can find in the market. Artemide is the company of the lights, and we install a special chandelier for the first time in the West Coast of America, because it was just installed in New York before, and it's a special light that you can model in, you can design however you want, and you have a very loss impact in terms of consume, in terms of energy, and the material that is due is also material that is sustainable material too. So that's the fil rouge that we try to have.
So we have to tell to all our listeners, to all our audience, come and visit the San Francisco new consulate, because you're going to be astonished about the beauty of that place and the Italian design and the Italian lifestyle. And I think it's a good chance to come and give a look in a different way to a diplomatic building that is not anymore only a diplomatic building. I mean, I'm very, very excited about that, because I think you are telling us a story that's very important for the idea of Italy also abroad, people that can go there and say what is the Italian consulate. They can imagine that a new idea of our country also too, for European and American people too.
Let's watch a little video right now. We have a surprise for you guys. Go ahead. So I have another question. How did you balance history with modern design, Simone?
I have to say that one of my master, I studied in Venice, so one of my master is Carlo Scarpa, an architect, Venetian architect. And he say that the best way to respect and to honor the history and the past is to be a contemporary. So that's for me meaning that you have to not reproduce the same things that you reproduced in the past. So you have to try to start a discussion with what we are now, what we design now, with what we designed in the past. So, for example, here the project that we done, and I've done also similar project in my career. So we keep the historical shell of the building as it was. So we just make a small refresh of things, but I didn't change anything about the structure and the decoration that there was in the building, and I try to understand to improve the issues that is coming from the space. So one of the rules is to respect the proportion of the space, the light of the space. So I do some operations to, for example, take it out the curtain that there was, take it out a sort of canopy that there was in the main entrance. So the lights now coming inside the building more and more, and give more vibration to the building, to the space inside the building. And in the same time, we don't use heavy furniture, we don't use heavy things. to keep the space more flexible. And the people that come, they say, okay, the space seems the double space before. So that's the goal of the building. So the building is a majestic building, and in this operation is like to discover the feeling and the soul of the building. So this is how you can work with the history. So not try to repeat the same things of the history, but try to understand what is the main characteristic of the building, of the historical building, and give the space and give the opportunity to the building to express itself, and using not new material, using new design. New design can talk with the past. For example, in the main room where we do the multimedia room, I didn't decide to attach the LED wall to the wall, so I respect the room that there was, and I built a sort of black wall. To say, be in front of the previous wall, so there is a small path on the back, and this is for me is a sort of reminiscence of the Stanley Kubrick film. So it's a sort of monolith, the black monolith of Stanley Kubrick, where the knowledge coming, that's help the humanity to evolve to. And so this is a sort of a black element in that room that become the LED wall when we use it, and is the black wall that transmit the new knowledge for the people that's coming there, with the people that we talk, etc. So it's just a sign, a small sign, but it's a very contemporary element that is a black wall in front of the previous one, the historical one.
Also, Simone is behind San Francisco Little Italy Honor Walk. Correct, Simone? Do you want to tell a little bit more about that?
So this project, the idea of this project was born in 2021 when we arrived here in San Francisco, and we met the Italian Heritage Parade Association. They take care of the North Beach district. And we started talking with them, and we say, why we can do something for the community that could be, that can tell about the story of the community. Because one of the first things that I come here, I fall in love with the story of this community, the Italian community here, because there was people that was incredible character, people that do something really special for the city, for the Bay Area, but for the entire community. And as an Italian, I'm really proud about this, that Italians coming here and they do very, very good things and very interesting things. And so we talked with them, and after a couple of months, Megan Sherrod, that was a friend of ours, she introduced to me and to Sergio, to the consul, Donne d'Italia. That was an association that have a project that was similar idea. So they was collecting information to have a sort of plaque for the Italian American figure that maybe was a minor figure. So we start working with them and say why we can work together. We enlarge the figure, and we make a list together. We start talking with the supervisor for this project, and that's the way we understand that the project is a very great and big project. We say we have to involve all the association, all the main association. So we started talking with the other association. We say why you can build together a new non-profit. So that's also for an administration reason, because someone have to be in charge to collect the money, to spend the money, to lead the project. And this type of project is good that it's led by the community. And so we ask a lawyer to design, a new type of association, so a new profit, and we put in the founder of this new association. It is all the most representative association of the Italian community. And so this now is a double goal. So to lead this project, but also to start to give the opportunity to the main association community to work together for one goal.
But Simone, you did an incredible job to put together all the Italian association, because we know we are very good to make association. We are less good to put together all the Italian association, but not in San Francisco, everywhere in the world. You know, the Italian people like to make association. They are very good in doing that, but it's the difficult thing is to put all together. And probably you find the right way, because in the Bay Area, I think that North Beach is the right place to start and to do this. Because San Francisco, an important part of the history from Amedeo Giannini and go on to other persons, Mosconi, and so on. There are a lot of Italian people that do really this city as big, as great as it is right now. The Italian community is very important for the San Francisco roots, and probably also for the present of San Francisco, because Federico Faggin, Roberto Crea, there are a lot of Italians that are doing all the best that they can do in the Bay Area. So that's very important. What are you doing? I think it's really and the fact to put all together. Good, you did a great job. The second one. So the second after the restoring of the consulate.
I have to say thanks to the Consul General, because it's, you know,
Sergio
the Consul General is the Sergio Strati is overview everything, and I have to say I have the idea with him also, but he have the the skill and the power and the skill to be polite and to be able to say connect it all together. So the Consul General is the honorary president of the association, of this new association, and he decided also to put every association together, because we know that there is different history of the different association. Some are very old, very connected with the Italian community from the past. Some are very new, like the scientists and maybe the entrepreneur and the Silicon Valley. But try to put the association together, have a double effect, to work with one project, but also to meet better each other, to know each other, to change maybe the connecting people, but also change the mentality, change the idea, because I think something, you think something, Samantha thinks something, and talk together, we can maybe come with a new idea. So that's the reason.
Absolutely.
That so that's a very good way. So as we say, l'unione fa la forza in Italian, no? So we say that the union for the people can make stronger. And also to have a strong imaging to the other community, that Italians are really strong if they work together.
How were Giorgio Moscone and Mariana Bertola chosen, and what do they represent?
So we chosen these two characters because we want to have two strong, character at the beginning. One is really famous and one is less famous. So this is also the double face of the project. So to recognize people that is really famous and to recognize people that maybe is less famous. So Giorgio Moscone is a very iconic figure because he changed the city forever. So when we have at the panel also, we talk about with people that work with him, he really, changed also the politician in that moment. So it was a key figure that we can say that there is a San Francisco before Giorgio Moscone and San Francisco after Giorgio Moscone. So it's an institutional figure. And we are proud that this change was made by an Italian American. So he put the passion of the Italian to talk with the minority, to have an approach that could be different. So he changed completely the approach of the city to the community. And Mariana Bertola, he was a doctor, so that fight for the women rights, and also fight for the children, for have the maternity in all the hospital of the states. So she has a vision of the future. So how to preserve the future if we don't preserve the babies and the women that have to have the babies. So that's really interesting two figures to start this project. So that could be two figures that could be inspire the people now to do something similar, to do something that could be completely change the approach for the community.
Who's going to be the next? Have you just an idea who's going to be the next? I know that Samantha want to make the same questions, but
we have a short list now. So we built a big list of people. So we, for sure that we are thinking to Giannini, to Amedeo Giannini. We are thinking to Fagin, and we are thinking also to other figures that could be less famous, like Bocci, and maybe like Tomasini, that is the founder of the Italian Athletic Club in San Francisco. So we have, and also we are talking about Joe DiMaggio. So we have some names on the plate, but the board of the association, we have a meeting at the last of the end of this month, and so they are planning the new, how to say, the new plaque for the next year. So they will decide. So we're just talking with this character, but that depends of the budget that we have, and also of the schedule that we want to do for these plaques.
I think there are a lot of Italian personalities that you can add to this list. I just want to tell you, because I'm a little bit old, my mentor and my colleague, Professor Giancarlo Masini, was an Italian journalist, and he was the consul for the scientific matters from I think 1975 until 1985. He was a journalist here at Corriere della Sera. I have here the first page of the moon landing, and the article on the first page is signed by Giancarlo Masini. He's over there. He was a very particular Italian-American, because he got the American passport, and he decided to spend all his life in San Francisco. And he was the one to understand in Italy before the importance of the Silicon Valley. And he was in touch with Fagin. He made a lot of interviews. He was the scientific representative. He had also a consular contract with the Italian embassy, because he was the scientific attaché, and has been. He was the first in Italy to bring the culture of the. He was a chemistry. He was a scientific, and he decided to work as a journalist. But was the first in Italy to bring all the stuff the new stuff coming from the Silicon Valley through the Corriere della Sera to Italian readers. And I think he is one of the Italian people that made also this connection very, very, very strong.
That's a good suggestion, but I have to say there is a cherry also in this project, because the cherry of this project is the app that we are working to develop. So, because, the plaque, the bronze plaque, they are very big. They are, bronze plaque on the ground, they are big. They are 3 feet for 3 feet, so they're really big, and so they are also expensive, and it's a no-profit, so we have to raise money for that. But we decided to develop an app, so the people that can work on the path can just, with the QR code, to go inside the app, to know about the history of that character, that they can see the plaque. But we are thinking to have also some virtual plaque. So the people that we can not raise enough money to have the plaque to put up there, they can learn about the history of these people also with the app. And there is a double, project. So the app, we want to improve also the calendar. And the goal is to have an app that could be connected all the Italian Association activity to. So that could be another very interesting situation. The app now is at the first step, and is developed by the budget down from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs through the committees of San Francisco. So it's a sort of startup app that we are working on, and we hope that we could develop also the second step of this app to have a calendar with the association events in the Bay Area. So that could be a double app. You can learn about the history of the community, and you can also use the app to be update of what's happened in the Bay Area, in the Italian community, in all the association they are really live, the association here. So they do a lot of events. So it's also it's very difficult to follow all the events. So if you have an app, maybe you can just plan your how to say, appointment to try to follow them.
My last question, which is why we are Crave, right? Beside architecture, Simone, what's your greatest passion?
I have to say that my great passion is to discover a new culture. I love travel. I love cooking. I love movie. I love music. I love art. But I try every time to, through this field, to discover a new type of culture. So I think that there is a lot of contamination through the culture, and there is a lot of contamination coming through the music, coming through the art, coming through the food. And so what I love sometimes to understand is how this contamination come through, how they are coming from. And so when I find something new, I go deeply to understand what's going on, what's happened in the past, how they contaminated together. So I love this idea because I think that the human skill is really connect, the human soul is really connect each other to, how to say, to a lot of stuff. And I love to try to repeat this path, understand how this connection coming. And so when I find something new in, for example, when I traveling, I try to discover the new art shop, or so what's the production of the art, the handcraft in that place, what is the food of that place, and maybe I bring something, I come back and I try to repeat for myself. So I'm really fascinated about these issues. So that's I think that I if I don't study architecture, maybe I will study anthropology.
Thank you so much, Simone, and thank you, Iacopo Gori. We need to have you back.
Thank you so much.
This episode of Crave is sponsored by Alice Becker Inc. a family-run business with over 30 years of experience in the fashion industry. They offer unique clothing for every age and size, always going the extra mile for their customers. Visit them in Nevada or online at www.alicebeckerinc.com.
Thank you so much to our sponsor for supporting this episode. Now, Alex, what's going on with 49ers?
So this week, I'm going to switch things up a little bit and do a little Niners Q&A. And I like to do this sometimes on Instagram or Twitter for people who might want to know more about me or my thoughts about the 49ers and the team. So I thought, why not do it on an episode of Crave? And I asked on Twitter the other day, and I got a couple responses. Okay, so the first question a lot of people ask me is, how did I get into the Niners fandom, or how I became a 49ers fan? So I was born and raised. My dad is a huge 49ers fan. He has had season tickets since before I was alive. And so I kind of just grew up with that. And my brothers are also huge 49ers fans. So getting to see the games every Sunday was like a part of like our lives. And, also going to Candlestick Park. For a while, I just was in it for the food. I always talk about how much I loved Candlestick chicken tenders, garlic fries, the cotton candy. And I loved the Gold Rush cheerleaders. And then as I grew up and, kind of got more into football, it just became one true passion of mine. Okay, another question I got, and I get this one a lot, is what was my most memorable game that I went to from Candlestick and Levi's? Now, this is difficult because I go to so many games. I've gone to so many games, and I'm very lucky. And I feel like on some level, all of them, maybe except the ones we've lost, but all of them have been very special to me. But when I think of Candlestick specifically, I think of the 2011 NFC divisional game, the Catch 3 game. That game, I can't even put into words how special it was for me. I went with my 2 older brothers. And just being in that electric environment, I would say those years is when I really got into football, like really started paying attention. The Jim Harbaugh era, it's really when my love for the Niners kind of really blossomed. And so getting to experience that was so special. And I'll always remember leaving after winning that game and Josh running down like Candlestick and jumping high and hitting the like top of the kind of roof at the section that we were at. I will always remember that. And so that's really special. Levi's, I mean, again, it's really hard. I've had so many good like regular season games. I've had so many good playoff games. I gotta say though, because I recently saw a video about like reminiscing of it, even though it was only a couple months ago, the NFC Championship game versus the Lions, and coming back, so special, and that electricity feeling again was there. And I know for a while everybody's like, it's not the same as Candlestick, and it isn't, and I don't think it will ever be, but that kind of feeling, how the fans are cheering and being excited and coming back and, you know, after losing and not thinking that we were going to go to the Super Bowl, it was so special. And I got to experience that with my brother, one of my brothers again, too. And so really special to me. Another question is, do you think the Niners should still have Dre Greenlaw come back this season with how poorly the team has been playing, or let him have the full season off to rehab the Achilles more? I think he needs to have the full season off. I love Dre Greenlaw. He is one of my favorite players, possibly ever from the Niners. And it's just, I can't help but think I don't want to rush him into a possible situation where there's only so much that he could do if he's still not 100%. And so I would rather him take the time. I know his practice window is open, but I would rather him take the time and ease into it and maybe come back next season really, really ready to go. I mean, if you think about it, it hasn't been a full year since he got injured. And that injury was heartbreaking in itself. I like want to cry when I think about it. But I want him to have that time to heal. And I think with us not doing as well as everybody expected, I think it would be okay if he didn't come back right away. Okay, number 4. What is the main cause of the Niners' downfall? You know, I'm just going to say it like this. Super Bowl hangovers, I think, are real. I think after getting so close to winning and not, I think it takes a toll on everybody, on the coaches, on the players, on the fans. And, you know, it's hard. This is the thing. Everybody has, I think right now, especially, they're trying to say, okay, who's to blame? What's wrong? These injuries are killer. And it, like, all of it's true. And I think even people that are very strong about one opinion have a point. I think people that are, there's like definitely, with anything, there's definitely two sides. And I think both sides are valid. It's just, for me, what bugs me sometimes, and I'll say this too because it's coming from Twitter, is there are definitely people that really, really, really don't like to take the other opinions into consideration. And I think with something like football, you got to see it from both sides. And I understand there's a part of it that's like, you know, you want to get that interaction. You know that people are going to come at you with, you know, negative response. You're getting attention for it. But also, I think it's frustrating to the players, and I know it is, and because they've even addressed it. And it's frustrating to the coaches, and it's frustrating to fans. And I try not to get involved in that when it comes to being on Twitter. But sometimes I so badly want to. I just want to say, can we stop? Can we please stop? It's crazy. I have to show Samantha more of Niners Twitter.
Yes.
She'll be like, let me get out of this. Okay.
The next one.
What should the Niners do in the backup QB department? Is Brandon Allen the answer, or do you need to look elsewhere? I think we need to look elsewhere.
Okay.
This is the thing, and I always think about this. The Niners, Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, were so unbelievably lucky with Brock Purdy. Mm-hmm. That just doesn't happen with a backup, let alone a third string quarterback. You don't get those opportunities like that. You don't lead a team to an NFC championship like that. It's not heard of before. So my expectations for Brandon Allen going into the Packers game were really, really low. And rightfully so. I think now he has a 2-8 record. At the time, he had a 2-7 record as a starter. He's not a starting QB. So I think no matter where you go, you have to find somebody that could, at least for one game, be able to put on that title real quick. I think it was very shaky. And again, listen, I could not be a quarterback. I got to be real. The amount of things that you have to go through, even in one play, is unbelievable. And it's definitely one of the two most challenging positions in football. So I give them a lot of credit. I even give Brandon Allen a lot of credit. I just feel like, I don't know, I would feel more comfortable if somebody else was our backup quarterback. Let's just say that. With the injuries thing in the back of my mind always, I would feel a lot more comfortable with someone who could, somewhat do what Brock did. Again, it's so unreal what he did. The more I think about it, it's crazy. Okay. How much does Brock deserve annually? Okay. So I'm thankful that I am not in a position where I can tell anybody how much they deserve. I know $60 million has been thrown out there since the beginning of the season. Do I think he's going to take the $60 million? No. And this is because I think Brock is a lot like Tom Brady in the way where he realizes, okay, to make my team, this could come back and bite me in the butt later on. But I like to believe that Brock is the type of person that says, I know that my star players need to get paid. I'm going to take that little cut. But also, would I understand if he got $60 million? Yes. I don't want to. I'm fine with whatever they do. That's not my. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How would you fix the roster? The three main things that stand out to me are offensive line depth, defensive line depth, and special teams.
Right.
Which I've been saying this entire season. So, have you fully given up on the season? And how optimistic are you for next year? I'm just trying to enjoy it.
Yes.
I love football. I love my Niners. Do I feel like, a puppy kind of with their ears down? A little bit. I'm always going to hope, right? Like, I'm always going to hope that they come through, that they pull through. I think every fan on some level, even if, there are more realistic fans, like, say my brother, like Josh, who is kind of like, okay, we're done. And he's been like that for a while. I know, has in his heart, he wants them to pull through and to come back. I don't know about next year. I can't think about tomorrow, let alone.
Right. And I think we should be like just in the present time, you know, like it's almost asking somebody, what do you think is going to be the weather next year?
Yeah. Somebody else asks, any tips or tricks on how to deal with this season because it's making me sad? Okay. I don't know. Maybe people know this. Maybe people don't know this. I think one of my things that I've come into more and more as my love for football has grown, and also as I've gotten older, is I love NFL gear. It's like one of my true passions now. I love the gear they come out with every single year.
Love that.
Is amazing. Wear by Ann Andrews, The Wild Collective, even Abercrombie and Fitch's NFL line this year has been amazing. I like Stony Clover, like all these different brands. I love it. So I think that's where I'm putting a lot of my focus on. Like I love that element of it. I think if you find pieces of things that you can, like even enjoying another player or another team, I think, you know, like I love Joe Burrow, even though the Bengals are not doing the best. You know, I'm going to probably root for Josh Allen to beat Patrick Mahomes in, like, postseason. Like, little things, I think. Or even, like, do something, like, completely different. Like, that's my goal as well, is to find a different hobby. I love Disneyland. Samantha knows I love Disneyland.
We love Disneyland.
We love Disneyland. We have to go together. So I've been focusing on a lot of that. TV shows. This is, like, genuinely everyone's saying how, like, sad I am about the Niners. I think you deal with it.
You just have to deal with, yeah.
You find other things, like anything in life, when you're going through something hard, you just got to push through.
Right.
Somebody even asked, how do I get on team insurance for the ulcer they've caused? You know? You find out and let me know, because I feel that too.
Exactly.
Okay, and the final question, same to do with how optimistic are you about next year. Do you think they'll have a bounce back year in 2025? I hope. I hope that next season of Crave I can come back on here and talk about how they are going to go to the Super Bowl and they're going to win it. Okay? You know, actually the most exciting thing I really am is even if the Chiefs do somehow to manage to three-peat, please no, knock on wood. But even if they do manage, I just feel like they're done, right? And I will never have to deal with them ever again. And I think that's the biggest celebration. For all Niner fans, that's what we have to look forward to.
Alex, I really love how this question reflects the passion and concern that so many fans really have about the Niners this season. It's incredible.
Yeah.
How much, they care about.
You know, I think the thing is, too, is everybody manages or everybody deals with seasons like this in a different way. Like, I've said it before. I have a friend who's a Raiders fan, and they haven't been good in almost 30 years. And so the fact that I like to look at them and say, okay, you know what? It could always be like this. Or, you know what? Even when it starts to be like that, you know what? Look at them. They still go to the games. They still watch them every week. Yeah, can you guys see that I'm in pain? Yeah. I love this team. And you know what? I'm going to try to be optimistic next year. But also it's like, I'm going to enjoy other things. Maybe on Crave I'll find another passion that I don't even know about.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
People can have more than one passion.
That's true. That's
very
true.
I have so many passions.
One
day I will tell you all my passions.
But that was my update for today. Little Q&A. I want to do another one soon. It will probably or hopefully be a little bit more positive.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning into our 14th episode of our 5th season. Follow us on Instagram at crave.show. We're on Apple Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe.
And make sure you check our website, craveshow.com. craveshow.com. See you next week. Stay tuned for next week. Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.